Paul, Roberto.
1.
Deborah, Reed.
By 1.
Brett, Traveling.
By 1. They all heard their names called. Some answered that call in a wheelchair, others carrying a cane, and many of the rest ran through the inflatable Patriot helmet onto the field at Gillette Stadium last Saturday, greeted with a sustained round of applause. Close to 30 military veterans had gathered from Massachusetts and Rhode Island. They came from all walks of life and eras of service for a football skills day, a joint effort by CVS Health and the New England Patriots in honor of Veterans Day. Before the day was out, they'd get to run drills with former Patriots players and get autographs from them. Then have lunch adjacent to the field with a chance to chat and share war stories. In some cases, literally.
Thank you to you and your families for the absolutely incredible sacrifices you've made and you continue to make every single day in service to our great nation.
The day kicked off with a welcome from David Casey, a former Marine who is now the Chief Diversity Officer for CVS Health.
I will share with you personally, I can understand that sacrifice. I remember 26 years ago getting on the plane to leave my newly pregnant wife to go serve as a U.S. Marine in Operation Desert Storm. Any other jarheads out there? Hoorah! Semper Fi.
Casey was right in the middle of it all, watching as the veterans broke off into 3 separate groups. Former Patriot linebacker Vernon Crawford ran a clinic on blocking. Former fullback and special teams player Harold Shaw worked on passing with those in wheelchairs.
Go. We'll figure it out.
While former fullback Patrick Pass showed off his arm for those running routes up the field. You could call them pass patterns. David Casey saw something in common throughout the day.
You know, what goes through my mind when I look at the group of veterans we have here today is America. They represent everything that's good about the country. They represent the wide spectrum of demographics you're going to see in the country. That's what I love about the military. It's a little bit of a slice of America. When you think about the sacrifices that veterans make for our country, it's absolutely phenomenal. And when you look out here on the field today, you see some of these disabled veterans out here having fun, going at it, giving it their all. It's just, again, another look into the view of the mindset of a veteran. You know, they don't give up. They persevere through everything. You know, and again, that's what I appreciate about my fellow brothers and sisters in uniform.
Henry Capparo of East Providence had never been to Gillette Stadium until last weekend.
It's my very first time in here.
What do you think?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, when I first walked out on the field, I said, gee, it's not as big as it is on TV, until I walked to the 50-yard line, and then I said, whoa. You know, I tried to kick a field goal from the 10-yard line. I reached the goal, but I had no height whatsoever.
Capparo served 4 years in Vietnam, returning home in 1967, and kept the memories of what he'd seen bottled up for 45 years, until he went to the VA in 2012.
I hadn't even spoken to anyone, including my deceased wife. Never knew anything about Vietnam. I never talked about it to anyone until that one day in 2012. So what a relief that was, knowing that I could talk to somebody that wasn't going to judge me and was there to help whatever issues I had.
And being out on the field with other vets, he said, was the highlight of the day. That and catching a few throws from Patrick Pass. Crawford, who played in the mid-90s, was having as much fun as the veterans, joking and later signing autographs.
You see the passion, you see, like, I see almost the will that they have, like when we were throwing the balls out there to them. I mean, they're just no different than the average player that comes out there. Man, you can see the heart, the desire, the hard work, everything that goes with being in the military, the discipline, the things like that. So you see all those things, and we kind of adopted their training of like doing it the Patriot way.
Then there was Joyce Cagnon from Pasco. 24 years in the Army, she was wounded in 2007. It happened during a training accident in Afghanistan when the Humvee she was riding in rolled over.
We all know when someone's injured that has a prosthetic in a wheelchair, You know, we all have our own battles. The ones with the unseen injuries are some of the biggest battles to fight.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, just being a part around, just being around the guys after the event right now, like now and before, and just hanging out and talking about the good times, the bad times, whatever, you know, and the guys saying, telling you about the injuries or some of the injuries, and I'm like, wow, and I couldn't really tell that you had all this metal in you, or you know, you didn't have whatever, a limb or so. But it was awesome. It was just awesome just to be around the guys.
You thought you had it tough as an ex-player, right?
I thought I did. It really didn't. No, I mean, it doesn't even compare. You know, being a football player is entertainment, but they're doing this for real life.
So what do the veterans want others to remember about Veterans Day?
Every service member, past, present, and future, that's ever served, that put themselves on the line, raising their hand, taking that oath, you know, from day one to whatever the end was.
For everyone to realize that, you know, we're the same people. You know, some people look at us like we're a different breed. Some of the troops coming back now need to assimilate with civilians, and civilians need to know what some of the vets are going through. And to be walking next to someone with prosthetics on both legs, or to see someone, an arm that hasn't had a prosthetic yet. So I think it gives them a sense of what we've all given for the country that I certainly love.
My heroes are the Vietnam vets, because they're the ones that went unnoticed, the ones that didn't get the hugs and high fives and thank yous. God bless America. God bless our vets.
At Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, Jim Hummel for the Rhode Island Spotlight.